Hosted by you/strange temperature 00. I am 22M, and my brother is 28M. He's been engaged to his fiancée for a few months now. She is 24. My brother's fiancée is your typical spoiled party girl, and, to be honest, so is my brother. In the last year or so, my brother and I have had a strained relationship. This is mostly due to differences of opinion when helping take care of our mom, who is struggling with PTSD and anxiety. She was held hostage by a man at her job and is still recovering, not yet back to work. For some context, my brother is a very impatient and opinionated person who struggles to see things outside his own perspective. He doesn't have a good grasp on mental health. He is easily persuaded by what he reads online, gets caught up in conspiracy theories, and I noticed that COVID/the pandemic kind of exacerbated all of this. I work as a paramedic, and he's been arguing with me, thinking I always believe I know better than him. I am adopted, and my biological mom was of a different ethnicity, so we don't look like brothers. When he can't think of a way to win an argument, he brings up the fact that I'm not her real son or his real brother. It wasn't always like this between us, which is sad. He's just not the same person anymore, and I'm not sure if it's work stress, life stress, or something else. I get that this post is going to be skewed by my perspective, but I'll try to be objective about the conflict. My birthday was last weekend, when this happened. My brother's fiancée apparently had the idea to throw me a surprise party. Most of the people there were friends of my brother and his fiancée. Everyone was drunk. They made a bit of a show of bringing me out a cake and having me blow out the candles. Before I did that, my brother's fiancée swiped frosting on her finger and put it on my cheek. I thought it was just her being playful and not trying to smash a piece of cake in my face. I blew out the candles, and after I did that, his fiancée grabbed my face and licked it. Like, from my jaw all the way up the side of my face. I have no idea why she did this. We don't even have the kind of relationship where it would be funny. My brother's face changed. His demeanor shifted, he became very withdrawn and irritable. They were seen quietly fighting, and he ended up just leaving the party. I brought it up the next day to make sure he was okay, and apparently, the two of them made up, but now it's me he has an issue with. I don't know what she told him, but it seems as if I'm being made out to be the one flirting with her, wanting her, etc. Not even remotely true. I told him to leave me out of his relationship problems. It's his partner who disrespected and embarrassed him. He's angry at the wrong person. I refuse to apologize. Apparently, I'm going to be out of the wedding unless I do. He's upset because I won't admit to my mistake. Well, I don't feel like I made one. Should I just do it for the sake of settling it? Normally, I'm willing to be the bigger person, but this is a false accusation I don't want attached to myself. What should I do? Commenter. I wouldn't cave either. Here's what I think, it's cliché, but you're probably the hotter, smarter brother. Your brother has insecurity issues about his relationship, intelligence, and other things, so people like that tend to get jealous easily and feel paranoid about losing their partner to someone else. Not excusing the fiancée either, because she definitely tried to keep herself looking innocent and like a victim while putting everything on you when your brother confronted her. It's a cop-out, but it's easier for him to pin it on you rather than her. Her being closer in age to you makes me think she might have a crush, or at least some kind of attraction to you, that came out when she was drunk. If she hadn't lied, I wouldn't think that, but the lying suggests she's trying to cover up her feelings, maybe. Has she flirted with you in the past? Ops response. I never really thought about it, and nothing specific stands out. She's obsessed with K-pop, and I am half Korean, so she's made comments to me, but I didn't interpret them as flirting. I thought she was just trying to be nice and didn't know how else to connect when I shared about being adopted. When she's sober, she's more awkward and shy. My brother lives with my mom, so usually when I visit and we're talking, my mom and brother are around too, and it feels more like a family vibe. Update 10 days later. After trying to reach out to my brother, he finally came around and stopped ignoring me. He didn't want to talk about what happened but was willing to put it behind us. To be honest, I think talking about it would have been healthier, but I decided to let it go because he was so adamant. Then, just the other day, he came to me on his own and admitted that he feels unsure about his relationship and is struggling to trust his fiancée ever since the incident on my birthday. I told him there's no rush to get married and that he should take time to figure out what he's feeling. I didn't try to give any particular opinion because I feel like this is something he needs to figure out for himself. Also, I genuinely don't know what's going on between them. Somehow, he still took what I said the wrong way, and we ended up having an argument. He thinks I'm not happy for him and don't want to see him successful or starting a family. I tried to walk away at this point in the conversation because no matter what I said, it was just going to get misconstrued, but he didn't want to stop fighting. Somewhere in that, I finally learned why he's so mad at me these days. It turns out he's upset that our mom paid for my tuition. I've been doing overtime to pay her back. Clarification, if it matters, she doesn't actually want me to pay her back. It was a gift, but I'd like to pay her back slowly. My brother feels this money should have been given to him for his wedding, which I am no longer invited to. I don't really know how to fix things, but that's where we're at. Second update 16 days later. My mom and brother got into an argument over the weekend. I have accepted being uninvited from my brother's wedding, but our mom wasn't having it. She was trying to understand where his anger is coming from. The problem is, I don't think he knows, and having conversations where he's questioned about it just makes everything worse. I wasn't present. It's something my mom called me about. Apparently, after his outburst at her, he stormed out into the cold, without shoes. She got worried. I have realized that I'm not the person he wants to see in those moments, or the person he wants to receive help from. I want to be that person, and I'll always be available in the background. But somehow, I've become part of his problem. My presence only ever fuels his anger. For that reason, I told my mom to contact his fiancée, and she did. His fiancée brought him back to the house, and my mom didn't mention the wedding or anything else. She told me today that they've started talking normally to each other again. I've also talked to my mom privately. I've made it clear that I'm not attending, and she should give up on having me there. She initially wanted to threaten not attending herself, but we decided that she should support my brother in hopes of keeping a line of communication open with at least one family member. My mom is really heartbroken. I thought about contacting his fiancée, then decided against it. Reading a lot of the comments I received, many of you pointed out that I need to stop trying to fix things. Some people took it too far and sent me violent little DMs because the last line of the previous update made them feel some type of way, but I've had people in the back of my truck say and do a whole lot worse. It takes a lot more than some words on a screen. But I get it. And I'll acknowledge, actually, that I think that's one of my biggest flaws, the need to fix things. I won't get into why I'm like this. I probably need therapy of my own, given the lengths I'll go to and how maladaptive it sometimes gets. Anyway, I promise I'm not fixing this. As far as updates go, this is probably my final one. I'm bowing out of my brother's downward spiral. It's the only thing I can do for him right now anyway. The rest I will deal with personally in time. I came on here for some perspective, and I feel like I've gotten that. So thank you.